Flyers power play strikes three times as the Flyers win 3-2 over the Ottawa Senators and are now 2 points ahead of the Detroit Red Wings for that final playoff spot. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Glenn, and welcome back to the Orange and Black Attack as the Flyers come away with a 3-2 victory this afternoon against the Ottawa Senators and get a much needed 2 points in the playoff race. Once again, this is the Orange and Black Attack. Let's get into this game. No scoring in the first period. It's been the norm lately for the Flyers. Um, a lot of, the Flyers played sloppy a little bit in the first half of this game. They were able to clamp it down and play a lot better the rest of the way. We go into the second period, and the Flyers strike first on the power play. It is the first unit again as all aboard the Wayne train. Wayne Simmonds gets a nice pass from Jake Voracek, and he is able to tip it past Hammond, and the Flyers lead 1-0. Later on in the period, the Ottawa Senators again take a penalty, and the Flyers capitalize again as a puck comes fired into the crease, and Sean Couturier Coots is able to bury it out and put it into the net, and the Flyers lead 2-0. That is the Flyers scoring twice on the power play. It was kind of funny between these two teams. Neither team coming into the game had scored a power play goal in the meetings that these two teams had had. The Flyers' their first two goals are power play goals. Later in the second period, Mika Zibanejad will get the Ottawa Senators on the board as he fires a wrist shot past Steve Mason, and we are 2-1. It is the score is 2-1 going into the third period. Flyers again will strike again on the power play is choo choo. Wayne Simmonds all aboard the Wayne train again as he is able to find the rebound and put it past Hammond, and the Flyers lead 3-1 in the third period. A little later on in the game we're gonna get testy. Neal and Radko Gudas were going at it all game long. The Senators Gudas gets caught for for knocking down Neal in front, but they do catch Neal, giving him a penalty. But however, they give Gudas a double minor for the cross check, and Hoffman is able to score on that power play for the Ottawa Senators. It is now 3-2. That's when the Flyers would clamp down defensively and shut the door as they would hold on to win 3-2 against the Ottawa Senators. Big win, big win. They played wonderful. I mean, they played sloppy in the beginning of the game, but they clamped it down and they were able to hold on for the 3-2 win. My three stars of the game: Wayne Simmonds with his 2 goals in this game. Sean Couturier is my second star of the game with his power play goal. And my third star is Steve Mason. Steve Mason's playing outstanding. He's playing out of his head, just like a number one goaltender should. And, you know, if you can get the goaltender hot at the right time, you can make a big, deep run into the playoffs. And that's what the Flyers are doing. Um, they've got a lot of hockey coming up here. They're the last week of the season. They're going to be playing 4 games in 5 nights. That's a lot of hockey. But they got to turn around tomorrow. Early evening game, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Comcast Sportsnet as the Flyers head out west to Western Pennsylvania to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who at this moment in time are crushing the New York Islanders 5-0. That bodes well for the Flyers. That would mean that the Flyers could win tomorrow. They'll be tied with the Isles for the seventh playoff spot. Get a little more cushion from away from Detroit and Boston now, because if Detroit wins tonight, they could pull Boston, who has 90 points, and the Flyers have 91. Boston could be a point behind us, chasing us. So a lot of Flyers fans are going to be keeping an eye on that Detroit game. I'd rather have Boston in that third spot in their division because we have a comfortable. I mean, even if Detroit wins, we're tied with Detroit. But I'd rather have Detroit a comfortable lead away from Detroit instead of the 1 point lead away from Boston. But we've got to do our part, and we've got to win hockey games like we've been doing. The Flyers they're playing outstanding hockey lately. But like I said, they got to turn around tomorrow early evening game against the Pittsburgh Penguins at 5 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet. It's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock for those who live on the West Coast. I will not be doing a podcast after the game tomorrow. I will be keeping abreast with the game, but I am a wrestling fan, and tomorrow is WrestleMania, and everything starts at 6 o'clock, and I've got company coming over for a party. But I will have a podcast out hopefully Monday, sometime Monday, early morning, early mid afternoon. Uh, I'll catch the highlights and I'll come out with a podcast. Hopefully, the Flyers can come out with a win. The Pittsburgh Penguins will not have Marc-Andre Fleury. He is out with a concussion. That's big for Pittsburgh if they're going to they're going to clinch at a playoff spot with their win today. But that's big for them if they don't have Marc-Andre Fleury going into the playoffs. But I think he'll be okay. I don't think he'll play tomorrow. I expect Steve Mason back in that tomorrow. Flyers are going to need to ride him because there's no sense in putting Stolarz in at this moment in time. Um, but that's it. The Flyers come again away. Their power play strikes 3 times. Uh, the first unit, all scoring the power play goal. Played wonderful hockey. Just got to keep up the winning streak here, folks. And that's going to end this. Remember, tomorrow early evening, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock for those who live on the West. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That game is on Comcast Sportsnet. And as I always end my episodes, good night and good hockey.